Good morning, everybody. I'm not sure what's going on. I was going to show you guys some Fox and Friends from earlier this morning, and it's not there on my feed. So I'm just looking at it another way to see if I can actually find it. Varney and Company, Mornings with Maria, we can check that out. Where Fox and Friends first, but no Fox and Friends. I've about had it up to here with YouTube TV because it does weird stuff like this all the time. And on my phone, on my Android, it's even worse. The alternative is out there now, Hulu Live, which includes the ESPN, Disney, and Hulu package, is available, but it's untested on my end, so I don't know if it's going to be any better than this or not. So how's everybody? I am your Kevin Lee father. This is Spilling Covfefe. We just get together, we talk about things in the morning. There's no agenda here. We can cover whatever. I wanted to hear more about the Royals, and then of course the Johnny Depp and whatever the other person is. I actually know it's Ashley Heard. I woke up this morning at, I don't know, 5:30 or something like that, and I just started up on my phone. I'll listen to podcasts. I started up a podcast for Morning Joe, and it was all about the Royals. And as a Canadian, I am so tired of the Royals. I don't care. They're just a bunch of billionaire figureheads. I don't care about the babies and about the who's next in line for the throne. I don't. And why? Why? American news media spends a half an hour talking about Queen Elizabeth when there are actual things going on in this country. America first, goddammit. So I wanted to see what the Fox and Friends thought about it. But let's do this. Let's try out. Let's start Mornings with Maria. That's on the Fox Business, but let's just see what she has to say about anything. It is not coming into my ear, so hold on. Give me a second here. I hope you guys can hear it. It looks like you can. Let me unplug and plug back in and see if it fixes it. Nope. Let me, one more time, folks. Sorry. How's everybody doing? If you got something going on today, let me know what it is. There we go.
Good Thursday morning, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Maria Bartiromo, and it is Thursday, June 2nd. Your top stories right now, 6 a.m. on the East Coast. Right. Today.
Okay, so one of the top stories going to be on Fox Business. So there's 100 and some job gains this last month, which is normal. That's what it was before the pandemic, but it's going to be looked on as a huge failure for the Biden administration by the right. Oh, look, it's only 100 and some jobs. That's regular, normal job. It's about 100 to 150. That's a fairly good month pre-pandemic, and this may be a result of the Fed trying to slow the economy down by raising interest rates, inflation getting out of control. This might just be what's happening now, and this is just normal. And the goal is to slow down the economy so demand falls and the supply chain can catch up. If that's the case, that's good. That's what we wanted. This is the goal here. It's working. But let's see. And as I always say, guys, this is just preliminary. It'll be adjusted. We don't really know what the job gains or losses are until about 3 months afterwards. This is just the initial payroll from ADP, etc. It's very, very preliminary.
Dire warning from JP Morgan CEO Jamie Dimon, the head of the nation's largest bank.
That's from yesterday. That's not breaking news.
Bank telling an investor conference yesterday to brace yourself for an economic hurricane to come. Dimon worried about the Federal Reserve's ability to take interest rates up without taking the U.S. economy into recession. The CEO noting the Fed's quantitative tightening, or the unwinding of its balance sheet, is scheduled to begin this month and will ramp up to $95 billion a month in reduced bond holdings. The other worry Dimon brings up is the Ukraine war and the possibility of sending oil prices to $150, even $175 a barrel. Watch.
It's a hurricane.
We'll have to watch. We'll see what happens here.
Right now, it's kind of sunny. Things are doing fine. Everyone thinks the Fed can handle this. That hurricane is right out there down the road.
Same guy, Jamie Dimon. He knows all about recessions like the one he caused in 2007.
Coming our way. We just don't know if it's a minor one or Superstorm Sandy.
Well, the CEO said that
the price of oil has come down 2% today. Wow, it'll go back up. I mean, this is earlier in the day too. We can see so Brent is what Brent oil is what comes out of Russia predominantly through the pipelines.
Bank is.
By the way, Europe just a couple of days ago said, you know what? We're going to drastically reduce not just the amount of natural gas, but the amount of oil we're going to use from Russia. Huge step.
Going to be conservative with its lending. Take a look at oil prices today, hovering still above $110 a barrel after European Union sanctions on Russian exports, with Saudi Arabia readying to increase production.
And now it's up to 117. So, yeah, you got to go week by week.
Ahead of the OPEC meeting, as Russian output may decrease. You've got prices down this morning. Brent at 113.64, down 2.25%. Crude oil at 112.70, down 2.25% right now. Prices at the pump heading daily record highs in every state. AAA reporting today's national average at $4.71 a gallon. President Biden, meanwhile, says to expect the pain at the pump to
still looks cheap to everybody in California.
Continue.
We can't take immediate action that I'm aware of yet to figure out how we bring down the price of gasoline back to $3 a gallon. And we can't do that immediately with regard to food prices either.
That's true.
And more economic data to look at this morning. We've got the ADP jobs report and jobless claims out this morning. Economists are expecting to see a gain of 300,000 new private sector jobs for the month and 210,000 new jobless claims for the week. We'll bring you that info as it hits the tape, see if it moves markets this morning. Meanwhile, this morning, markets are high.
It didn't. It was about half that. But as we've discussed many times, the economists don't know anything. Every month, it's either higher or lower than what the economists expect. They don't know. Very few economists saw the last recession happen. Saw it coming, I should say.
Take a look at futures indicating a triple-digit gain for the Dow Industrials this morning. The Dow was up 101, about 1/3%. The S&P 500 higher by 16.
And now the Dow's off by, let's see. It's down, well, that was futures. Hold on, show me the Dow. Give me a second here. The Dow is down 261. That's about 1/8%. And the S&P is currently sitting down 0.5%, off by 20. That's not a big deal.
And the Nasdaq up.
Expect that to go a little lower and then bounce back just before the afternoon.
70 points right now.
But then, I don't know.
This after a downer yesterday. Stocks fell yesterday, and at the close, the Dow Industrials finished down 176. That was 0.5%. The Nasdaq was down 87. That was 0.75%. And the S&P 500 lower by 30. Also 0.75% lower. Interest rates this morning look like this. Take a look at the Treasury 10-year. Up 0.5 basis point, sitting at 2.919% on the 10-year. As interest rates go higher, the stocks have been falling. Take a look at European markets right now. FT 100 down 74 points. The CAC 40 in Paris up 61, and the DAX index higher by 100. In Asia overnight, stocks finished like this in Asia.
She's having a lot of problems.
With Shanghai Composite up 0.5%, but the Kospi and the Hang Seng down about 1%. Plus this morning, the COO of Meta, Sheryl Sandberg, will be stepping down from her role at the company.
That's Facebook, by the way. Oh, you can see it on the screen. Okay. They renamed themselves Meta for some reason, and no one's buying it. And they're still like, oh, there's real estate available on the metaverse. I don't know. I don't get it. What could possibly go wrong? Virtual real estate.
More on the changes coming to Facebook parent coming up. Mornings with Maria is live right now.
Morning, Phil. What are you doing on your vacation?
Expectations by 18 cents. And revenue rose to 2.43
Hey, Chewy Incorporated. That's the stuff you get like you order for your dog.
billion. And the company standing by its full-year forecast of $10.2 to $10.4 billion.
Dogs. Invest your money in dogs, people. I've been saying this my entire life.
Chewy noting in its letter to shareholders ongoing volatility in the on the horizon as the result.
Yep.
Senior fellow Rebecca Heinrichs and Strategic Wealth Partners President and CEO Mark Tepper. Great to see everybody this morning. Thank you so much for being here. Jamie, kicking things off.
I think Maria's still in her home studio, or maybe not, but boy, she looks lovely today. You can still hear the analog hiss in the background. I don't know when they're going to fix her audio system. I don't think they ever will. I don't think they care. I mean, most of the people watching Fox Business cannot hear very well at all.
With you and this Jamie Dimon comment in terms of...
All right, I don't care about that. Let's go find something else to watch. So this is interesting. I was watching this. This is off of the Rumbles. This is the hearing in Phoenix about voter fraud. And it's all about drop boxes and 2,000 mules. It's all just nonsense and cell phone tracking data, even though they don't realize they're probably just tracking poll workers whose job it is to go between locations, or people with multiple devices whose job it is to, like, you have one cell phone for your personal, you have one cell phone because you work for the county and they've given you a cell phone, and now you're going between locations, and that's a mule. They're obviously harvesting ballots. Oh, look what happened in Yuma. Oh, Dinesh Patel. I love Dinesh Patel. Dinesh D'Souza is saying, look, now the Yuma County Sheriff saw 2,000 mules and they opened an investigation because of it. They've gone berserk and they're opening an investigation in Yuma County. No. The sheriff in all the counties have said, no, we've been investigating fraud since the primaries in 2020. Oh, look, there was a mayor in San Luis or Louis or whatever you call it down there, and she collected ballots. Yeah, in the 2020 primary, and they caught her. And she's being prosecuted. May have been found guilty already. But this is the primary in 2020. Still no evidence of this massive ballot harvesting. 81 million votes in 2020. But anyway, these are the people. This is the Republican Senate hearing in Arizona.
These elements well.
Marcy says that hiss is the under desk wine cooler refrigerator cycle. It probably is. It's a very, very good guess. Probably right under the microphone.
Enough to measure whether or not drop boxes were being exploited.
So this is True the Vote, which Trump never gets right. Truth for vote, truth to voting. This is the name. By the way, Laura Ingraham was making fun of Joe Biden for not remembering people's names yesterday or the day before on her broadcast, and just the number of times, as Asen pointed out, be that Steve McCarthy or Rick Gates or Melanie, his wife, Isis K, Isis X. Trump was all over the place with names. It was constant and it was hilarious. But yeah, Joe Biden. And one of the examples they use is that for some reason they think he can't remember the name of the Secretary of Defense. No, he's known him for years and always calls him General. But Secretary, if you're a secretary, you're above General. So he goes to call him General and then realizes, oh, I always call him General. And twice he's done that. I keep calling him General. He's Secretary now. He's not forgetting his name, just getting the title correct after knowing him as, trust me, when your kid changes their pronouns, it's tough.
Whether or not NGOs were involved. So
Well, I don't know what this is, but I'm really curious.
Decided.
Yeah.
To really go all in on a methodology.
Yes, you did decide to go all in.
That involves the use of ad data that is resident in all of your phones. And so if you would, take your phone, and this is going to work on most everybody's phone, type this in, *#06#, and up will come a series of numbers.
Okay, hold on. Let's do that. Take out your phone. Let me know what happens here. Keypad, *#06#, and hit send.
unable to complete your call. To speak to a customer service representative.
Okay, I don't know. What am I supposed to do?
Those are ad keys, broadly.
Okay, hold on. Let's go back.
She talks about the fact that it's required and exploit to really go all in on a methodology that involves the use of ad data.
Yeah, I want to know how I committed fraud. Go.
That is resident in all of your phones. And so if you would, take your phone.
Yeah. Yes.
And this is going to work on most everybody's phone. Type this in. Star pound 06 pound and up.
Star pound 06 pound. And up pops.
Will come a series of numbers.
But it doesn't. It just dials Verizon, and Verizon says you can't. That doesn't work. That must be an iPhone thing, I guess. I don't know. I have an Android because I like real phones. Star pound 06 pound brings up the IME info on Android. But not for me. I'm on my phone app. Am I supposed to be somewhere else? I'll do it again. Star pound 06 pound. No, that's correct. Let me hit send again.
Welcome to Verizon Wireless. We're unable to complete your call. To speak to a customer service representative, please hang up.
Okay, so that did someone... Your Apple does what? Gives you the IMEI? Because it's not working on... Am I doing something wrong? I want to be a fraud! This is not fair. This is stupid. I'm on a Galaxy. So you hit that, and then you hit... I'm on a Galaxy Note 10 Plus. So, okay. So anyway, it gives you your EMI. So it doesn't work on my phone. I suck. Am I doing something wrong, guys? Am I supposed to hit... Because I did that. And then I hit send, like I'm making a phone call. Did you guys even hit send to make a phone? Anyway, it doesn't work for me. I'm wrong inside.
Those are ad keys, broadly.
No, those are your device info. There's a way to get it on I can go into my settings and see that as well.
And let me explain that. Yeah, sorry.
Okay.
Let me explain it a little bit better. Do it like you're going to make a phone call. So star pound 06 pound and then the green button.
I did that. Didn't work.
Now you with me?
Okay, so some of you guys, it just popped up, I guess. It looks like that, Phil says. So, all right. Are you with me? I'm sure there's a lot of me's in that room go like,
So those numbers are... So, it doesn't always work on every phone in that way, but rest assured, these numbers are deep.
Oh, hold on. I'm resting assured. Hold on. Let me rest first. Thank you, Marcy.
Deeply embedded in your phone. They are attached to your apps, and this is how...
Are they? Hold on. Marcy DM'd. I'm not going to show you Marcy's, obviously, but let me just take a look at this. Marcy sent a photo. These are not attached to apps. I mean, I suppose they are, the IMEI number, etc. These are your SIM card in your phone settings. These are, this is just the idea of the serial numbers, basically, for your phone.
This is how marketing campaigns often work. I'm sure you've all had experiences where you pull into a store and you get a text that there's a certain coupon or a discount for something that you have.
That has never happened to me. I've never pulled into a store and gotten a coupon for that store. Does that happen to people? Maybe with iPhones or something? It's never happened to me.
Just pulled into the parking lot.
But apparently my phone doesn't work. So I don't know.
To pick up. This is how law enforcement...
I would like that very much.
Isolates criminals and witnesses in important cases. This is how... This is how...
What? I guess if you got Truth Social on your phone... Come on, that's way too sophisticated. Getter? Parlor?
Digital DNA is captured.
Okay, phones have serial numbers. We've established that. Ha ha! Trump is president!
Maybe a better way to explain this is really what...
is with words that make sense.
Frankly, what the New York Times did.
Okay.
They put together a series of articles back in 2019, and I'm going to switch this around and try to show you.
Just a red screen.
Give me 1 second, guys.
Does 7-Eleven know when you're visiting?
Show you how they put this together.
I have the 7-Eleven app, and I've never. I use it when I'm getting coffee. Like if I'm gonna spend money on coffee somewhere, I will go to the cheapest place, and that's typically 7-Eleven. 7-Eleven was actually a really good deal on coffee. It's like $1 or whatever, and they got all the creamers. You can add all kinds of crap to it. What I like to do is I get the coffee cup, and you get the refillable ones from 7-Eleven, and I'll just fill it with Slurpee. I don't even know it's cheaper or less. I just love Slurpees.
So they put together a multi-part series that is very helpful in understanding how this data works.
It's too bad there's not a program that you could put all this in and have it ready to go, and then you wouldn't have to pull up the website every time. Some sort of something that was on the point that would give you the power to illustrate things like that. It's just
works, and
it's unfortunate.
I'm going to pitch it over to Greg to begin to explain how the data.
That's what it is. Eid is a Muslim holiday. The first info number was the EID. That's right. This is the Muslims. They were the ones who cheated the vote.
Came into play.
Boom.
The New York Times did a 7-part story that included, as Catherine said, a very
Ooh, this guy's stimulating.
Clear graphical representation of the way that we do our work and the way that this type of work is done.
He is the most interesting man on the planet.
Be noted for any haters that are in the media that we use multiple
I'm a hater. I hate all kinds of stuff.
Types of information, and this is one example. So,
you know what I hate? I hate his voice.
Don't tell me it's a map from Moscow or whatever.
What?
And by the way, Moscow Mules is funny, whether you think it is or not. So.
Oh, because of the mules carrying the votes? Is that?
So someone gave the New York Times 50 billion cell phone signals.
Yeah.
And those signals are stamped with latitude, longitude. You can even get altitude off of them, depending on what you're trying to accomplish.
Yeah. It's very handy. Like if you lose your phone or you lose a person. I gave my kids cell phones, and that was the first thing I did when they were, this is 1,000 years ago, when they were, I don't know, maybe 9 and 6 or something. My daughter lucked out because she's younger, so she had a cell phone 3 years before her brother did, but only because it was the same time, but she really grew up with a cell phone, like the ability to access an MP3 at any given time. She had one of those little LG chocolates, I think. That's what we had. They loved them. But I had a family plan thing where I was able to see where they were, or at least where their backpack with their phone was.
Aggregators of this data do different things, and so it's not, you might read that they're...
Yeah, Moscow Mules are drinks in copper cups. That is accurate. Judges agree. Hold on. You call the police coppers as well. So this is all about the deep state. It was the FBI that rigged the election. You're right, Marcy. It's all those Muslims at the FBI. By the way, YouTube, we're being sarcastic here. We do not believe the election is rigged. It was not. 50 different governors, 50 different secretaries of state, they all certified the election. It was not rigged. Do not ban this channel. Thank you. We're just having a little fun.
Or that we are looking at cell phone signals, for example, and triangulating around different...
So are we saying that a lot of Americans had cell phones on Election Day?
Cell phone towers.
Yeah.
This is not that.
Good preventing, Andy.
And...
Andres?
We're probably not going to answer that question much anymore.
Oh, well.
So what they did was they took all these signals and they mapped them. And
could have just said that. Could have just said, this is the New York Times. They got cell phone information. They mapped them. All right, moving on.
Catherine, if you'll roll through a little bit, you'll see that these are in different places. This is Santa Monica. And so
I've been there.
Each signal has the different latitude.
Where I wanted to see me.
Longitude. Actually, if you go slow, it'll come up. But they're Pentagon, obviously. we'll send you this.
The guy doesn't use adverbs. I do not respect him as a researcher.
This link so you can actually see what's going on with it. Yeah, we're gonna scroll down. That's Mar-a-Lago.
Yeah.
And in the next article, they actually track President Trump going from Mar-a-Lago to play golf and then back again, and claim that it's accurate down to where his Secret Service people are. But yet they can't seem to find a way to understand that tracking these crimes is
well, up to 50 meters in a big circle, 50-meter radius, so 100-meter diameter. Yeah.
Is appropriate.
Oh, yeah, it's easy to do on a golf course.
In this way. So the other key thing that we gain from this is a time.
I don't know. That looks like, is that New York City? Probably. Oh, that's just people in Central Park. That's what that is.
Time stamp. And by evaluating these in aggregate, it allows.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm so confused, Shelley, because I thought the New York Times was fake news as well. So
allows us to link the who to the when to the where. And then put those.
But we don't know the who. See, that's the thing. There is no who. When you have all that data, you do not have the IMEIs or the IDs or the anythings.
Signals in some sort of order.
If you have those names, please release them. Oh yeah, we can't release the names. Not even to the authorities. And of course the authorities would have no way whatsoever to get that information. Unless you happen to be going January 6th. I mean, they can't get that information. But for some reason, they can't access the information when it comes to voting.
And map them.
That's what the True the Vote claims.
It's basically, it's math. Catherine, if you'll roll through slowly. This is a really good example. This is Central Park.
Yeah.
And imagine we were trying to identify someone or something, a unique device ID that is near a particular incident that happened in Central Park. So we would go through a series of calculations, algorithms, and changes to come up with that stuff right there, and come up with that one person. So that signals.
That's one smartphone right there. That's what the New York Times is doing this, by the way. They are not doing this. We're just talking. We're almost done.
Telling us all sorts of things.
I got to leave at 8. It's now 7:49.
That *#06#. Those are but a few of the device IDs and unique device IDs that you'll see in your phone or the.
Right, but True the Vote doesn't have access to that information.
You may not see in your phone. There's also.
Yeah, he said Nazi. There it is, right there, kids.
Also, something called a MAID, MAID. The MAID gives a whole new plethora of information, and potentially we have the ability to gather, depending on the origin of the signal or from.
That's how they got Schwarzenegger.
Whom we buy the signal, we can tell what websites they're on. We can tell who they're communicating with, and we can tell other interesting tidbits about this person's life. And here's how we do it. So once we have that, then we can go back through. Where else has this person been in New York? Remember, this is all the New York Times signals, the same people who said this is impossible. And once you, stop right there. And then once you get here and we've linked all of these signals together, and we've linked their locations together, their times together, we can then build what we call a pattern of life. And as that pattern of life emerges, so then we can track that individual or track that unique device ID.
Yeah, we know this.
Boom. There you go. That's how we do what we do. That's one of the ways.
Okay, but this doesn't prove anything. That's the thing. Because this person travels around New York City. Oh my God!
So this technology is common for Sheriff Lamb and some of the work that they do. It's common with Craig Sawyer and some of the work he does. And having the ability to do this and do this at scale is extremely difficult. They had 50 billion pings or signals. We had 10 trillion signals. So
and somehow you managed to do it. Okay.
Scaling all of this.
But without proving any actual election fraud.
This was super important. We also recognized, because we've been around for a while, that the haters would ultimately come out. And so we established several different locations from which we were doing our research that proved to be providential. The day that the movie was released, Mississippi State University, because they received some banging around from the AP in open records.
Yeah, 10,000 Mules is ridiculous, Shelley. No, they don't really say whether it was the... We should watch it together at some point. Maybe that's what we'll do.
Wondering what we were doing.
I'm sure I'd get a copyright strike.
Doing in our office there, canceled our lease. It's all right though. They fell into our trap. We weren't doing this work there. We were storing some data there, but we weren't doing the actual analysis, and they canceled us for no reason.
I'm sure that's the case.
Conceptually, this then is, I think, a little bit easier to understand. We geofence, if you will, around drop boxes. Mm-hmm. We geofence around known or any the places we've been advised that might be trafficking ballots, like
nonprofits
and the like.
They've been advised might be trafficking ballots. So you're targeting, yeah.
And then we build the patterns of life around these people. And as we begin to aggregate it, we start skinnying it.
Many nonprofits take people to the polls, which is completely legal. Completely legal, but okay, yeah. I mean, you're just looking at people doing their jobs.
Down. We had millions of unique devices. And as we began to skinny it down in Maricopa and in Yuma County, in particular, you begin to see where and when an individual device intersects with the fence around that box. One of the most important things to understand is the difference between accuracy and precision. I've not seen one article from anyone that adequately or properly defines it, but it's an important distinction. Accuracy in this instance really is the accuracy of the actual signal itself. Like how likely is it that from a risk perspective that any one individual signal is off the mark a little bit. There's been a lot of noise out there that you can only get within 40 feet or some idiocy.
50 meters.
It's just crazy.
It's not crazy. That's how it's rated. That's what it's designed to do. But okay.
So what?
I mean, especially when you're triangulating off of 3 towers. That's how triangulating is.
What we did was,
if you're, there's Wi-Fi connections that can help.
But
Wi-Fi also has a range.
What we do.
Yeah.
Is we take 3 different types of signals.
Okay.
And we buy them from different brokers that catalog them from different devices, but yet still stamped with the when and the where, the when to the where, and then we identify the individual device.
Do you have evidence?
And that gives us, on an individual basis, the ability to make a decision. Is this ping accurate?
There's another hour and a half of this. We're not going to watch it.
How close is this? My phone here, or is it here?
And there's absolutely no way a GPS could tell. Plus you're inside.
The differential or the methods in which we smooth that out or we tease that out are proprietary.
Oh, you've discovered some science that nobody else knows. That's what it is. They have magic phones. There it is right there. There it is right there. They've somehow figured out something, the law enforcement community, that the tech community, this guy has somehow figured out how to get more accuracy out of the phones. That's what it is. Samsung just couldn't figure it out. Apple, they don't know shit about their phones. This guy knows about the phones And again, none of it proves any fraud.
They are incredibly accurate.
Uh-huh.
The United States government, the United States military can measure down to within 2 centimeters.
Okay.
So the very idea that...
I don't know that that's the case. I haven't found any articles about that. But this guy knows secret ways. I know when I'm picking up, for example, my daughter, and she's got her phone on, and I can see where she is, sometimes it says she's on the other side of the building. That's just the way it works. And that's okay. It's amazing that I can say, oh, she's here. And then when I really need to know where she is, she's turned her signal off. So,
I think
I got to go. I don't have time for this.
Somebody wrote, the New York Times or someone wrote, well, you can tell that they're walking down the street, but you can't see which side of the street they're on.
Yes, yeah.
Utter nonsense. It's complete nonsense.
Not nonsense.
They're asking the wrong...
It's not nonsense. I've experienced it over and over again in real time. It's not nonsense.
Questions.
Yeah.
They're asking the wrong people.
Oh. But we're talking about cell phones, not people. So. And
these articles are being written by journalistic terrorists.
Oh, that's what it is. The journalists are the terrorists. Well, there it is, people. I think that's probably enough evidence for us all to be convinced that right now Biden is not a legitimate president. It's President Trump, because journalists are terrorists. Just look, the same 3 last letters. Journalists, terrorists, I-S-T. That stands for I saw them. It all makes sense. And I see you. And I'll see you later on the live stream. Okay, seriously,